Overall, I've been pretty lucky where I've been able to pick up most of KO Custom's minifigures at retail from their store, and the older ones that I missed out when they were, I got them for a pretty good deal on the aftermarket. And so far I felt pretty good about having a pretty complete collection of their figures. But recently, through the Geek Exchange, I was able to pick up another one of their very old figures, being Deathlok. So thank you MFJ Customs for hooking me up with that. And I'm very excited to take a look at this older figure, which unfortunately doesn't have a card in it, but also might not have. A lot of these figures are going to have those sort of character cards. So not sure if it had one originally, fine with me, but let's go ahead and get this out of the packaging on the stand. And getting Deathlok on the stand, fully decked out with all the accessories, molded backpack, molded gun. Don't recognize these parts, so there is a chance that they were actually molded by KO Customs in-house. Or maybe I'm just unaware of the original parts. They could be brick arms, but not 100% sure there. Things that stand out to me right away are the metallic gold on the torso, as well as the nice metallic silver on the face. The red eye peeking out of that. I think that's a good look. And other than that, just really cool small details. I'll just get that gun out of the way so we can see the printing better. Just some nice black line work throughout. Looks very clean. And of course, American flag there, which might have some speckling in the blue there for stars. Kind of hard to tell, but as I move it around, I am seeing some detailing there. Plus, past the torso, look at the wraparound boot printing there, which is definitely something that not everybody was doing at the time. It might be spray painted even, maybe. You can see on the top of the feet it is also printed, but seems a bit sloppier than the rest of the legs, so maybe that's the only part that's painted. You can see some silver peeking through. Or it could just be an ink technique that, since, older figure, they just didn't figure it out completely. But I do appreciate the continued red detailing all the way around. Definitely puts us ahead of other custom minifigures that were coming out at the time. And it is cool to see them get really close to the tops of the feet there with those gold lines for the boots. I'm just going to go ahead and get that backpack out of the way so we can get the rest of the torso showing. And on the back there is a decent amount of detail. A little bit of gold on the collar there, not much printing there, and just some typical back muscle lines. There's a bit of red bleeding through the bottom of the belt part there, which maybe that's just because it is slightly up and there's just red showing, hard to tell for sure. But I'm happy to get some detailing instead of nothing. So can't really complain there. One thing I did notice just when I'm looking at it kind of up close and personal, the legs are pretty creaky and you can see that there are some stress marks on there. So I got to be careful with this figure in the long term. Don't want to move it around or remove the legs if I don't have to. Otherwise it might get damaged. You can see they're kind of spreading apart as I am moving it very slightly just for the video here. Just nothing wrong with that. It's a 8-9-year-old figure. Bound to happen eventually. I just have to make sure that while it's in my possession, just gotta take nice and good care of it so I don't damage it, because I really love this figure. As somebody that loves the Uncanny X-Force, had to get this one, and it's such an obscure character. Who knows if anyone's ever gonna make this again, and just a lot of great aspects about it. Head's great, torso's great, and the legs are also pretty out there for the era. All that being said, let's go ahead and get to the comparisons and the final verdict. KO Customs never misses, and it's always fun to line up all the figures to compare all of them. And Deathlok is no exception for being one of their older designs. The detailing and just quality of printing, it just is amazing. Really it is. And you compare it to some Phoenix Customs designs that would be pretty contemporary to Deathlok. I think both of these were released in that 2016-ish era. And it just had that wraparound boot printing, the cool metallic printing on the head, as well as the rest of the figure, custom molded accessories that make it stand out even more. And it is just a timeless minifigure that even when looking at an almost 10-year-old figure, it still fits in with the rest of the KO line as they keep putting new figures out. And is also going to fit in with any official X-Men that you have. Got to have a baseline with the official Lego Wolverine. And I am just very impressed. I'm really glad to have another member of the Uncanny X-Force, along with Deadpool. I would really love to see all of those characters get released in the gray uniforms. I would buy those instantly. And it's just a very cool character that is pretty underrepresented in media these days. And I'm not even sure how popular the character was overall. You know, they appeared in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so the MCU has thought about them a bit, but not at the scale of the weird zombie cyborg look. And I'm just so glad to finally have this older figure. So thank you again, MFJ Customs, for hooking me up with this. Means a lot, and I'm glad to have an even closer to complete KO Customs collection. If you want to see more custom Lego X-Men or custom Lego superheroes overall, check out all the videos on my channel. I've been Brick Radiop. I'll see you in the next video.